famous black celebs who destroyed their faces with plastic surgery. What happens when fame, beauty standards, and insecurity collide? In this video, we're uncovering the untold stories of black celebrities whose faces and lives were forever changed by plastic surgery. From secret procedures to devastating regrets and powerful comebacks, these transformations go far deeper than skin. You might think you know their stories, but the truth behind their faces will surprise you. Stay tuned as we reveal the emotional, physical, and cultural impact of going under the knife in the spotlight. Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim's face has become one of the most discussed examples of celebrity plastic surgery gone too far. But what often gets lost in the conversation is the painful reality behind it. Born Kimberly Denise Jones in 1974, she entered the spotlight in the mid-1990s as a trailblazing female rapper with the Notorious B.I.G.'s Jr. Mafia. Her confidence, bold lyrics, and style redefined the genre, but privately, she was battling demons few could imagine. Kim later revealed that her first nose surgery wasn't a cosmetic choice, it was medically necessary after her then-boyfriend broke her nose during a violent assault. The injury required multiple corrective surgeries. But the abuse wasn't just physical. Over time, Lil' Kim was emotionally worn down by relationships with men who cheated on her and constantly compared her to women with Eurocentric features. This, paired with a verbally abusive father who criticized her appearance growing up, seeded deep insecurities that surgery alone couldn't erase. The transformation that followed was not a sudden one. Over the years, Kim underwent multiple procedures, including rhinoplasty, skin lightening, cheek and jawline enhancements, and possibly lip fillers. Critics often labeled her unrecognizable, but few acknowledged the psychological warfare she had endured that led her to feel like nothing about her natural self was acceptable. In her own words, she said she felt like everything about me was wrong: my hair, my nose, my skin. By the mid-2010s, her appearance had dramatically changed, sparking widespread media speculation and concern. But rather than frame it as a celebrity meltdown, it's more accurate to view Kim's transformation as the visible outcome of years of trauma, social rejection, and emotional survival. She didn't destroy her face, the world broke her spirit, and surgery became her armor. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's face became as much a subject of public fascination as his groundbreaking music. Over a career that spanned 4 decades, the singer's appearance changed so drastically that by the time of his death in 2009, many barely recognized the man who once sang ABC with the Jackson 5. In his 1988 autobiography Moonwalk, Michael admitted to having 2 rhinoplasties, saying they were done to improve his breathing and vocal performance. But fans and experts believed the changes went far beyond that. By the early 2000s, his nose appeared extremely thinned, even collapsed, leading to rumors of skin grafts and reconstructive surgeries. Some plastic surgeons, who never treated him, speculated that he had undergone a forehead lift, lip reshaping, cheekbone implants, and possibly even chin augmentation. Meanwhile, Jackson maintained that lighting, diet, puberty, and makeup accounted for much of the shift in his appearance. But the most controversial change wasn't surgical, it was his skin. Accused for years of bleaching to appear white, Jackson later disclosed he suffered from vitiligo, a disorder that destroys skin pigment. This was confirmed in his autopsy. Beyond the physical changes, Michael's transformation revealed a deeper story, one of a black man navigating the pressures of fame in an industry that often idolized white beauty. Paired with his turbulent childhood under an abusive father, it's no stretch to see why he may have developed body dysmorphia. He once admitted he didn't like the way he looked. By the end of his life, Michael's facial features had become hauntingly artificial, an eerie mask that reflected not just surgery gone too far, but a life spent trying to meet impossible expectations. Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams has never been one to keep secrets, especially when it comes to her appearance. The outspoken talk show host built an empire on being brutally honest, and that same transparency extended to her cosmetic procedures. Over the years, she has openly discussed getting a breast augmentation, tummy tuck, facelift, and liposuction, and has even brought cameras into her doctor's office while receiving Botox injections on her jawline. While many celebrities dance around the subject of plastic surgery, Wendy invited the world to watch. But beneath the glam and bold personality, Wendy's relationship with her looks hints at something deeper. She first had her breasts done in 1994 and has said she loved them immediately. They became part of her brand, bold, visible, unapologetic. She also candidly admitted that she continues maintenance work with her longtime cosmetic doctor, Dr. Maren Shapiro. Yet, she drew a line in recent years, declaring she won't undergo anything below the neck, though she's floated the idea of a future breast reduction. Unlike others whose surgeries were tied to trauma or insecurity, Wendy presents her cosmetic journey as a matter of empowerment and control. However, some fans have speculated that the constant alterations reflected her attempt to maintain relevance and perfection in a youth-obsessed media world. Her face became increasingly refined, sharper, and more frozen in time, prompting questions about whether the tweaks were going too far. Still, Wendy remains unapologetic. "If I want to tweak something, I will," she told her audience. In many ways, her transformation is less about destruction and more about reclamation. She took ownership of her image in an industry that scrutinizes black women relentlessly. Whether fans see confidence or concern in her evolving face, one thing's clear: Wendy made herself visible, on her own terms. Donda West. Donda West wasn't a celebrity in the traditional sense, but her tragic story has become one of the most well-known cautionary tales about plastic surgery in modern pop culture. As the mother and manager of rapper Kanye West, Donda held an influential role in his life and career. A former chair of the English department at Chicago State University, she was celebrated not only as an academic but also as a proud, guiding force behind her son's success. In November 2007, Donda underwent multiple elective cosmetic procedures in a single day, including liposuction, a tummy tuck, and a breast reduction. She chose to return home to recover, against her surgeon's advice to remain in a medical facility. Just one day after the surgeries, she began experiencing symptoms like chest pain and shortness of breath. That evening, she collapsed and was rushed to the hospital, but efforts to save her failed. She died at the age of 58. An autopsy later revealed that while the surgeries themselves were complication-free, her post-operative care was grossly inadequate. She had reportedly taken up to 20 Vicodin pills in under 24 hours, contributing to respiratory distress. The incident destroyed the career of Dr. Jan Adams, the surgeon involved, and sent Kanye West into a spiral of grief and guilt. He has publicly admitted that he blames himself, feeling that his fame enabled her access to dangerous decisions. Donda's death became a watershed moment in conversations about the risks of cosmetic surgery, especially when multiple procedures are performed simultaneously. Her passing wasn't the result of botched technique, it was the deadly combination of overambitious surgery and poor aftercare. Her story underscores that plastic surgery isn't always about vanity, it can be a fatal decision, even for those with the best intentions. K. Michelle. K. Michelle's story is a stark warning about the dangers of unregulated plastic surgery, and how chasing beauty can turn into a medical nightmare. A successful R&B singer and reality TV star, K. Michelle was already admired for her natural curves when she made the fateful decision to undergo illegal but injections filled with silicone. At the time, she believed the bigger her body, the bigger her career. "I felt like I had to," she admitted in interviews, citing intense pressure to stand out in a hypersexualized industry. The procedure, done in an unlicensed setting, seemed harmless at first. But within a few years, she began suffering from debilitating complications. The silicone, which was never meant for medical use, started migrating through her body, causing pain, inflammation, and tissue damage. She underwent a series of grueling surgeries, at least 4 major operations, to remove as much of the foreign material as possible. Despite the best efforts of surgeons, some silicone still remains embedded in her tissue. K. Michelle turned her painful experience into a platform for awareness. In 2022, she launched My Killer Body with K. Michelle, a reality series that follows individuals recovering from dangerous or botched cosmetic procedures. Through this show, she shares her own journey and gives voice to others whose lives were altered, physically and emotionally, by surgery gone wrong. Her transparency has shifted the conversation around cosmetic enhancements in the entertainment world. Once silent about the risks, she now pleads with young women not to follow in her footsteps. "I didn't know my body would reject it. I didn't know I could die," she confessed. Tamar Braxton. Tamar Braxton has always commanded attention, whether it's with her powerhouse vocals, her bold personality, or her head-turning appearance. But over the years, her evolving look has sparked heated debates among fans and critics alike. Has she had too much work done, or is she simply navigating fame with agency? Tamar has addressed some of the speculation, confirming that she underwent a rhinoplasty, not purely for cosmetic reasons, but to fix a breathing issue. She's been candid about how that procedure helped her physically, but she's remained tight-lipped about other alleged enhancements. Fans have long suspected she's had cheek fillers, lip augmentation, and possibly skin lightening, claims she strongly denies. Tamar insists her complexion has changed due to avoiding sun exposure and better skin care, not any attempt to alter her identity. However, one confirmed and often misunderstood procedure was her rib removal, a medical necessity, not vanity. She suffers from thoracic outlet syndrome, a condition where muscles compress nerves or blood vessels in the chest. The intense physical strain of her Dancing with the Stars appearance reportedly aggravated the condition, leading to the surgery. Despite her attempts to keep certain aspects private, her looks remain a topic of viral speculation, especially after an Instagram post showed her with visibly altered features. Though she never confirmed where or what was done, many fans believed she visited a high-end clinic like Geo's Plastic Surgery in Atlanta. Reactions were split between praise and concern. Toni Braxton. Toni Braxton may be known for her sultry voice and timeless music, but her battle behind the scenes has been just as intense. In the early 90s, at the height of her breakthrough, she chose to undergo a nose job, a decision driven by more than just beauty standards. Toni has openly shared that the procedure was intended to fix sinus and breathing issues, which had been affecting her ability to perform. Ironically, she described the immediate aftermath as painful, so much so that she could barely move her nose or lips during recovery, which interfered with her signature vocal delivery. Once healed, however, the surgery proved to be beneficial. She claimed it made it easier to hit her famously high notes, especially when singing live. While Toni has never admitted to any further facial enhancements, fans and observers have speculated over the years about the possibility of Botox or dermal fillers, noting her smooth and youthful appearance. Still, she has remained largely private about any cosmetic maintenance. But the most significant medical challenge Toni has faced wasn't cosmetic, it was her ongoing battle with systemic lupus erythematosus, SLE, a chronic autoimmune disease that can inflame and damage internal organs. Diagnosed in 2008, she's been hospitalized multiple times, including a life-threatening scare in 2022 when doctors discovered an 80% blockage in one of her coronary arteries. She underwent emergency surgery to insert a stent, narrowly avoiding a fatal heart attack. Toni's experience is a sobering reminder that public appearances often conceal private battles. While some fans focus on whether her face has changed, the more urgent story is her resilience. In the face of serious health risks and relentless scrutiny, she continues to prioritize survival over aesthetics, a decision far more powerful than any cosmetic touch-up. Vivica A. Fox. Vivica A. Fox has long been celebrated for her striking beauty and commanding screen presence, rising to fame with roles in Independence Day and Set It Off during the 90s. Over the decades, her appearance has remained glamorous, yet noticeably altered, drawing speculation from fans and professionals alike. Fox has been transparent about her use of Botox, openly admitting it helps smooth out wrinkles and maintain a youthful look in an image-driven industry. In interviews, she's embraced the idea that a little tweak here and there is a woman's right. However, the conversation around her appearance escalated as her facial expressions began appearing more restricted in public and televised appearances. Viewers noticed her cheekbones looked more pronounced, her lips fuller, and her forehead unnaturally smooth, all signs often associated with excessive fillers, Botox overuse, or minor facial procedures. Though Vivica has denied having any major plastic surgery, many speculate she may have undergone non-surgical nose refinement or dermal volume enhancements, particularly in her mid to late 50s. In a 2016 episode of The Doctors, Vivica spoke candidly about the pressure in Hollywood to maintain youthfulness, especially for black actresses competing in an ageist and Eurocentric beauty landscape. While she has always been confident, her gradual transformation sparked debate over whether she had compromised her natural charm in pursuit of perfection. Critics argue that her face, once expressive and animated, has become overly done, a common concern for those who rely on facial nuances in acting. While Vivica stands firm in her choices, her story reflects a growing dilemma. When does maintenance cross into modification, and at what cost to authenticity? For many, her evolving look is less a sign of vanity than it is a reflection of the punishing beauty standards that women in the spotlight are expected to meet, often at their own expense. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj didn't just change the game in hip-hop, she changed the look of the game entirely. Bursting onto the scene in the late 2000s, she quickly became as well known for her curvaceous figure and exaggerated features as she was for her rapid-fire lyricism. But beneath the colorful wigs and cartoonish alter egos was a woman deeply affected by industry expectations and personal insecurities. In interviews, Nicki has admitted to undergoing butt enhancements during the early stages of her fame, a time when curves were currency in the music world. While she has never publicly confirmed all the details, industry insiders and fans alike have long speculated that she received illegal silicone injections, similar to other artists who sought unlicensed procedures. These enhancements, often performed in backroom settings, can cause significant long-term complications. More recently, Nicki revealed that she had a breast reduction, sharing that she had grown uncomfortable with her figure and that the procedure was part of a larger effort to feel more at ease in her own body. "Looking back, I was just fine the way I was," she said in a reflective interview, expressing regret over letting insecurity dictate her decisions. Plastic surgeons who have not treated her point to likely facial fillers, especially around the cheeks and lips, and possible rhinoplasty, noting the progressive sharpness and refinement of her features over the years. However, Nicki has remained guarded on these points, emphasizing instead the emotional toll of constantly being in the public eye. Her transformation is both a visual and psychological map of what happens when confidence is outsourced to the scalpel. Though she continues to command attention, Nicki's evolving appearance speaks to the darker side of fame, where validation can become addictive and regret settles in long after the spotlight fades. Cardi B. Few celebrities are as unapologetically candid as Cardi B when it comes to her plastic surgery journey. From her early days as a stripper in the Bronx to her meteoric rise as a Grammy-winning rapper, Cardi has never pretended her body was natural. In fact, she's been shockingly transparent about it. At age 21, before she was famous, she underwent illegal butt injections in a basement for $800, with no anesthesia, a decision she now deeply regrets. She admitted she made that choice to increase her sex appeal and income at the time, believing that a bigger backside would attract more customers and ultimately help her succeed. The procedure involved injecting biopolymers, a dangerous material that can migrate through the body, cause infections, and even result in death. In late 2022, Cardi revealed she had surgery to remove 95% of the biopolymers, calling the process both painful and traumatic. "It was a really crazy process," she said, warning young fans to think twice before altering their bodies through unregulated procedures. In addition to her butt injections, Cardi has undergone breast augmentations and liposuction, and she's been open about returning for touch-ups after giving birth. Despite the criticism she's received, she's insisted her decisions were personal, though she now feels a responsibility to discourage young women from repeating her mistakes. Cardi's evolution, from a body-altering basement gamble to surgical reversal, isn't just a cosmetic tale, it's a cautionary one. Her face and figure became part of her brand, but they came with a physical and emotional cost. Today, she uses her platform not just to flaunt her look, but to advocate for informed, safe choices. LaToya Jackson. LaToya Jackson, the fifth of the legendary Jackson siblings, has lived much of her life under the microscope, and it shows in her transformation. Like her brother Michael, LaToya's face has morphed dramatically over the decades, sparking intense speculation and scrutiny. The most noticeable change? Her multiple rhinoplasties, which progressively slimmed and reshaped her nose into a pinched, angular form that many critics said looked too similar to Michael's surgically altered features. LaToya has confirmed that she's had cosmetic surgery but hasn't gone into detail about the exact number of procedures. In addition to her nose jobs, she is believed to have had jawline contouring, facial fillers, and possibly chin reshaping, resulting in a face that appears far more sculpted, and in the eyes of many, far less natural, than her original look. What's often overlooked is the psychological context surrounding LaToya's transformation. Growing up in the Jackson family meant enduring intense pressure to be perfect, from performance to appearance. LaToya has openly discussed how she and her siblings were held to high standards by their father, Joe Jackson, who was known for his strict, image-focused parenting. The result was a lifelong struggle with self-esteem and identity, especially as LaToya sought her own spotlight apart from her famous brothers. Critics say she has gone too far, arguing that her face today looks dramatically different from her 1980s self. But like many in her position, LaToya's surgery appears to be less about vanity and more about survival in a world that constantly demands physical transformation. In a family where external image became as much a brand as the music itself, LaToya's altered face isn't just a result of plastic surgery, it's a reflection of generational pressure, fame-driven perfectionism, and the elusive quest to feel enough in a hypercritical world. Claudia Jordan. Claudia Jordan has long been admired for her beauty, whether gracing the stage as a model on Deal or No Deal, appearing on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, or hosting talk shows. With naturally striking features and radiant skin, she's always exuded confidence. But as the years progressed, so did the public's curiosity about her evolving look. Rumors of facial fillers, Botox, and lip enhancements have followed her for much of the past decade, though Claudia has only admitted to dabbling in non-invasive cosmetic procedures. In her own words, she's experimented with minor tweaks to maintain her appearance in an industry that puts immense value on staying youthful. She's never admitted to going under the knife, but fans have pointed out changes in her cheek volume, lip fullness, and a smoother, more contoured jawline, features that now appear far more refined than in her early television days. These differences, though subtle, have led some to question whether she crossed the line between enhancement and erasure. Claudia has addressed these speculations with a mix of openness and defiance, insisting that how she chooses to care for her appearance is her prerogative. However, critics argue that in trying to keep up with Hollywood's unrealistic beauty standards, she may have lost touch with the very look that made her stand out in the first place. Still, Claudia's experience reflects a broader dilemma faced by many black women in media: the demand to look flawless without appearing fake. She hasn't destroyed her face in the overt sense, but rather, she's walked the fine line where beauty maintenance becomes an identity makeover. Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore is one of reality TV's most captivating figures, a former Miss USA winner turned Bravo star who's known for her confidence, sharp tongue, and undeniable beauty. But with fame has come fierce scrutiny, particularly over her appearance. For years, Kenya has fought off persistent rumors that she's had facial plastic surgery, including a nose job, cheek fillers, and Botox. Despite the speculation, Kenya insists her beauty is 99% natural, attributing her youthful glow to clean living, skincare, and good genes. Photos comparing her Miss USA 1993 look to her Real Housewives of Atlanta appearances have fueled debate. Her nose appears more narrow, her cheeks more defined, and her skin nearly wrinkle-free, features that many attribute to cosmetic work. Still, Kenya has denied any major procedures, although she has hinted at doing what she needs to do to feel good and being open to minor enhancements in the future. Kenya's curvy figure has also come under the microscope. While some accuse her of having body sculpting or implants, she continues to claim that her hourglass shape is all natural. During RHOA reunions, she's passionately defended herself against castmates and online critics who accuse her of being disingenuous. Her stance has always been that black women should not have to defend their beauty just because it doesn't align with Eurocentric norms, or seems too perfect to be real. In the context of this list, Kenya represents a unique case. Unlike others whose surgeries are confirmed or catastrophic, hers are speculated but unconfirmed. Yet the public obsession with her face illustrates how intense the pressure is to prove authenticity, even when your beauty may actually be natural. In Kenya's case, The damage isn't necessarily to her face, but to her peace of mind in having to constantly justify it. Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith has always been known for her sharp intellect, magnetic presence, and high cheekbones that seem chiseled by design. But over the years, her appearance has sparked ongoing debate. As her face grew smoother and more angular, speculation swirled about Botox, cheek fillers, and possibly even facelifts. Though she has never confirmed undergoing major cosmetic surgery, the public remains skeptical, pointing to her visibly changed features and seemingly frozen expressions in red carpet appearances. Unlike some celebrities who remain silent, Jada has addressed beauty standards in a broader context. On Red Table Talk, she spoke openly about the emotional toll of trying to maintain a youthful image in Hollywood, where aging, especially for women, is often seen as a flaw. She has acknowledged using non-invasive procedures like skin treatments but hasn't confirmed or denied injectables, instead focusing on self-love and acceptance. Her refusal to directly engage in the cosmetic surgery debate hasn't stopped critics from dissecting her every wrinkle, or lack thereof. One confirmed procedure Jada has openly discussed is a scalp surgery related to alopecia, the autoimmune condition that causes hair loss. Her diagnosis sparked international attention after the infamous Oscars incident in 2022, when her shaved head became a focal point of public conversation. Since then, she's become an advocate for alopecia awareness, shifting the dialogue from vanity to vulnerability. While some say Jada has overdone her look, others argue she's simply aging gracefully with help. Either way, her story isn't about destroying her face, it's about defending her right to define beauty on her terms, even as the world tries to define it for her. In Hollywood, the pressure to stay perfect is constant. For Jada, the real transformation may be learning to stop chasing perfection altogether. Blac Chyna. Blac Chyna's transformation might be one of the most dramatic and redemptive stories in modern celebrity plastic surgery culture. Born Angela White, she rose to fame in the early 2010s as a model, socialite, and reality TV star known for her exaggerated curves, plumped lips, and heavily sculpted face. For years, her look was aspirational to some and controversial to others, an extreme expression of beauty that defined an era of Instagram perfection. But behind the camera-ready image was a woman who had altered herself too much, too soon. By age 19, Chyna had already undergone but injections using illegal silicone, a choice she now openly regrets. Over the years, she added breast implants, lip fillers, facial contouring, and likely Botox, creating a look that was hyper-feminine but, over time, became unnatural. As criticism mounted and health concerns loomed, Chyna made the decision in 2023 to begin reversing it all. She documented her journey publicly, undergoing breast reduction surgery, buttock silicone removal, and facial filler dissolving procedures. She described the silicone removal as agonizing, taking over 8 hours due to complications with the injected material forming hardened masses. The transparency of her process stunned fans, many of whom had no idea the toll these procedures could take on the body. Chyna's reversal wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. She reclaimed her birth name, Angela, and began distancing herself from the hypersexualized persona that once defined her. Today, she uses her story to caution others, particularly young women, against making rushed decisions about their appearance. "Don't even do it, y'all, it's not worth it," she said in a viral video. Countess Vaughn. Countess Vaughn, beloved for her roles in Moesha and the Parkers, once lit up TV screens with her comedic timing and distinctive voice. But behind the scenes, the actress and singer was fighting an intense battle with self-image, one that would lead her down a path of cosmetic procedures that had devastating consequences. Wanting to fit Hollywood's narrow beauty mold, Vaughn underwent liposuction and used glue-based wigs and hairpieces to manage her appearance. What started as routine self-enhancement spiraled into a medical nightmare. One of the most traumatic incidents stemmed not from surgery, but from the glue used to secure her wigs. Over time, it caused a severe scalp infection, which led to permanent hair loss and scarring. In an emotional interview on The Doctors, Countess revealed how the condition not only disfigured her scalp but also shattered her self-confidence. She wore wigs constantly, never realizing they were damaging her skin, until it was too late. In addition, her liposuction procedure failed to deliver the self-esteem boost she'd hoped for. Instead, it brought physical pain and unexpected emotional distress. Recovery proved more grueling than she expected, and rather than feeling more confident, she felt more vulnerable. Vaughn has since admitted that surgery didn't solve the insecurities she was carrying, it only magnified them. What makes her story powerful is her willingness to speak out. She turned her experience into a message for others, warning against the allure of quick fixes. "You think surgery is going to make you feel better, but it doesn't fix what's inside," she said. For Vaughn, the scars weren't just physical, they were emotional too. Nene Leakes. Nene Leakes, the breakout star of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, has built a career on bold opinions and even bolder looks. Known for her outspoken personality and fierce fashion, Nene has also been refreshingly honest about her plastic surgery journey. Over the years, she has confirmed undergoing a rhinoplasty, breast lift, liposuction, and a Brazilian butt lift, the latter two procedures shared with fans in detail on social media in 2022. Her transparency has made her a rare figure in celebrity culture, where many try to hide their cosmetic enhancements. She even partnered with Dr. Okoro at Georgia Plastic to showcase what she called her professional BBL, using her platform to normalize elective surgery and demystify the process. But while her confidence won praise, some observers noted her increasingly refined features and speculated that Nene had gone beyond what she admitted, pointing to a thinner nose, smooth forehead, and tighter skin under her eyes, possibly the result of fillers, Botox, or laser treatments. By 2024, fans were stunned when she posted an Instagram photo that made her look nearly unrecognizable. Her face appeared slimmer, tauter, and more contoured than ever before. While Nene didn't confirm any additional work, the internet buzzed with theories that she'd had more done than she let on. Nene has defended her decisions, stating that women should feel empowered to do what makes them happy, whether that's aging naturally or surgically enhancing their features. "It's not a taboo anymore," she said. Still, as her look continues to evolve, the line between enhancement and over-alteration becomes harder to define. Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle is a music icon whose soaring vocals have inspired generations. With a career spanning over 6 decades, she has always exuded strength, elegance, and authenticity. But even legends have moments of vulnerability. At the height of her fame, Patti made a decision she now wishes she hadn't. She got a nose job, not for health reasons, but purely for appearance. At the time, she believed her nose was too wide and feared it would look even larger on television screens. The decision, she later admitted, came from a place of deep insecurity, one that had been shaped by decades of beauty standards that favored Eurocentric features. Patti has since been open about her regret, saying in an interview, "I was beating myself up for the way my nose looked, and it was fine before I changed it." That moment of reflection reveals a powerful truth: the world didn't ask her to change, she felt pressured to conform to what she thought the world wanted. Unlike many celebrities who continue to chase youth with multiple procedures, Patti chose not to go down that path. Aside from that single cosmetic surgery, she has embraced aging gracefully. Her wrinkles, full cheeks, and expressive face remain intact, not frozen or smoothed away. And her voice, her true signature, remains as powerful as ever. Today, she speaks directly to younger generations of women, reminding them that self-worth isn't skin deep. Be yourself. Love your face before you try to change it, she says. Patti's story isn't about destroying her face, it's about the internal damage we inflict when we let self-doubt override self-love. That one procedure may have altered her nose, but the lesson it taught her has become part of her legacy. Real beauty doesn't need reshaping. Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson's evolution from a child actress to a global pop icon has been nothing short of extraordinary. But alongside her musical achievements, her changing appearance has remained a source of fascination and concern. Janet has confirmed she underwent a rhinoplasty at just 16 years old, a decision reportedly influenced by early exposure to fame and Hollywood beauty standards. While subtle at first, the changes became more pronounced over the years, leading some plastic surgeons to speculate that she may have had multiple nose surgeries, possibly contributing to nasal collapse, a condition where the structure of the nose deteriorates due to repeated alterations. As her nose grew increasingly slim and refined, fans and experts noted signs of possible fillers, Botox, and facial contouring, especially in her 40s and 50s. By 2017, her facial features appeared noticeably more sculpted, prompting online chatter about whether Janet had crossed the line from enhancement to excess. Despite the rumors, Janet has rarely addressed cosmetic surgery beyond acknowledging her early rhinoplasty. Instead, she's focused on promoting self-love and embracing aging with grace. In interviews, she's expressed a desire to avoid overdoing it and has been vocal about maintaining balance in her beauty regimen. But the contrast between Janet's natural beauty in the 1980s and her modern-day appearance has fueled the narrative that she may have succumbed to the same pressures that shaped the Jackson family legacy. Living in the shadow of Michael's highly scrutinized transformation, Janet likely faced her own version of identity struggles, trying to stay relevant, youthful, and accepted in an industry that rarely makes space for natural aging. Kanye West. Kanye West isn't the first name that comes to mind when people think of plastic surgery, but his story is one of the most surprising and tragic entries on this list. In 2016, Kanye made a startling revelation during a candid interview. He had undergone liposuction, not for health reasons, but because he felt pressured to look thinner in the spotlight. He feared being mocked for weight gain the way other celebrities had been, even admitting that his decision was partly driven by a desire to avoid tabloid humiliation. What made the confession even more shocking was its context. In 2007, Kanye's mother, Donda West, died after undergoing a series of elective cosmetic surgeries. Her death, caused by post-operative complications, deeply traumatized Kanye. He has long blamed the medical industry, and himself, for what happened, even referencing it in his music and public outbursts. After such a personal tragedy, many were stunned that he would pursue cosmetic procedures himself. But that's what made the decision so revealing. Even someone scarred by loss isn't immune to the crushing weight of celebrity beauty standards. Kanye has since spoken out against invasive plastic surgery, drawing a hard line between injectables like Botox, which he tolerates, and any procedure requiring general anesthesia, which he now firmly opposes. He's reportedly urged partners, including Kim Kardashian, to avoid going under the knife, citing both safety concerns and the emotional scars from losing his mother. These stories reveal the deep emotional costs behind cosmetic transformations. From trauma to societal pressure, these celebs faced more than just a mirror. Which story shocked you the most, or changed how you view plastic surgery? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video eye-opening, give it a like, share your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence for more powerful stories celebrating and examining the lives of Black icons.